Set.
Intensity is not a perfume.
Oh, mercy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, Michael Perez solo homer in the 8th inning downs the Orioles in a 4-3 loss at the Trop. And we're breaking it down here on MASN All Access Extra as we bring in Jeff Arnold, who was on the radio call for this game. Jeff, you described this game, the scorebook for this game during this call, as looking like a third-grade art project because it was such a strange game. Why was it so weird tonight?
Well, you know what? I think the weirdest part of it was I figured there was going to be a moment in the 5th inning that kind of decided it. I mean, the Orioles had a couple of men on base, and then the 5th inning, Asher Wojciechowski starts off the inning. He gives up the double to Margot to start things off, and then you go to Tanner Scott, and then he walks the batter, he hits the batter, and you make all kinds of changes. The Rays brought Yandy Diaz in to pinch hit. Kevin Kiermaier has to leave due to injury in the middle of an at-bat. You bring in Miguel Castro with the bases loaded, assuming a count. I mean, there were just so many weird things about the inning, and there were a bunch of chances in there, but neither side got anything done in their half of the inning. So we got one total run out of the thing, and you were kind of just like, I think the 5th inning coming in was going to be the inning that broke it open. It just didn't happen. So a lot of missed opportunities. For the Orioles, they capitalized on a couple of errors by the Rays. They made 2 errors. There probably could have been more for Tampa Bay. The Orioles pitching, give them some credit for the bullpen. I mean, Michael Givens might have given up the home run, but he got one really big out the inning before that. And, situationally, being able to keep some inherited runners on base. I mean, even Keegan Aiken coming in, inheriting a runner at second base in a situation where I thought it was going to be Paul Fry that was going to come into the game, and then maybe Aiken would start the next inning off clean, and instead it kind of worked to the reverse. There were so many weird things that we saw tonight, so many twists and turns. It was a strange game, a lot of missed opportunities, some errors. It wasn't the cleanest game that was out there, but in the end, it was tough. I mean, Michael Perez didn't even really hit that great of a Michael Givens pitch over the fence. It was just a really good swing and a tough one for the Orioles tonight, but one thing that they know that they need to address is situational hitting. They've had a lot of opportunities over the last 10 games, and when they've had opportunities to either score runs, add to leads, capitalize, it hasn't happened.
Yeah, they were just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, left 7 runners on base. These two teams combined for 3 errors in this one. It feels like this offense has been fairly hot and cold. There have been some steady guys throughout. Anthony Santander, of course, coming up with a clutch RBI in this one. He has been the clutch guy that the Orioles have called on. But why do you think the Orioles offense suddenly disappears in big moments at times?
Yeah, it's really hard to put your finger on. I mean, situational hitting is such a critical part of the game, but it's a part of it that every year it seems like I'm always asking coaches, managers, players about what is your approach when you have runners at second and third, and it's not an easy one to figure out. I mean, I think some of it is you've dealt with some really tough pitching. I think some of it is you've just missed out on some opportunities. I think some of it has been that the Orioles have pressed a little bit more. I think over the last week and a half when you haven't had Jose Iglesias available to help you out. You don't have Pedro Severino, at least right now. It sounds like hopefully he's going to be back sooner rather than later. So I don't think it's just one thing that has been the reason for it, but it's something that they're all trying to figure out and get their approaches in the right spot. So when they have chances to add some runs to games or score some big runs that they know could make a difference, that hopefully they'll do a little bit better job. But I don't think it's just strictly related to one thing.
The Orioles have John Means on the mound tomorrow, who, of course, since returning from the bereavement list, has been uneven. What do you expect, and should we have any expectations for John Means tomorrow, considering the kind of return he has had since returning from the bereavement list a couple weeks ago?
I think the biggest thing he's trying to find out is his changeup. I mean, he talked about it after his outing against the Red Sox. I mean, he gave up a couple of home runs off of changeups, and he said that when he throws it, it's been middle most of the time, and that's not a good spot for a changeup. And I kind of wonder a little bit if maybe some of the added velocity of the fastball has affected the changeup. I mean, it's great to see him throwing a little bit harder, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe that's creating some issues on it. But I think most of it, and as he talked about this, is location related. Hopefully he can spot it a little bit better. He can get the kind of swings and misses that he did on the pitch last season. But I think he'll probably go a little bit longer than he did in his last outing, and then hopefully maybe after this start against Tampa Bay, then he'll be stretched out and have the ability to go a little bit longer. But we'll have to see what we get from John Means tomorrow. The stuff is crisper, and I think we're seeing that. But can he get the feel for that changeup? I'm sure it's something he's really been working on. And can he use it as a weapon tomorrow night against the Tampa Bay Rays and help him get some outs and hopefully go a little bit deeper into the game?
Yeah, and the Orioles have already lost the series 2 of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays, but they can take the final game of this 3-game series tomorrow. Jeff, you will be on the call. Hopefully your scorebook looks a little bit cleaner than it did tonight.
Hey, you know what? I've got it right in front of me, so I'm going to show you this right now. This was that inning. This was that inning. I use a lot of colors and different things.
Oh my gosh!
It's just a whole bunch of changes. I mean, how many times do you see it where in back-to-back nights you have changes coming in the middle of an at-bat?
Yeah.
I mean, it was very tough what happened to Jalen Beeks last night for the Rays, but it 1-1 count. You have to bring a new pitcher into the game.
Yeah.
And then if Kevin Kiermaier is up there, he takes a pitch for a strike, and he has to exit due to injury, and then the Orioles make a pitching change too. I mean, it doesn't happen very often where you've got the same batter-pitcher combo, and you have a pitcher that leaves, and you have a hitter that leaves, and it's a different combo with the same game situation. It doesn't happen all that often. So, but it was a strange night to be sure. You're hopeful that the Orioles can claim one before heading over to Buffalo.
Absolutely. When it was that 1-1 count and Tanner Scott came out of the game, I thought, what is even the point of the 1-1 count if the batter's not the same, the pitcher's not the same? But they played anyway, and it ended in a 4-3 loss, unfortunately, for the Orioles. But a chance to take the final game of this 3-game series tomorrow. And Jeff, thanks so much for hopping on MASN All Access Extra.
You got it, Paul. We'll talk to you soon.